Hi, I'm Dario Cortez. Berkeley College believes that all citizens need to be informed about the important issues that affect our daily lives. That's why we're proud to support programming produced by the Caucus Educational Corporation and the partners in public television.
Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Hackensack University Health Network, Investors Bank, Berkeley College, New Jersey Natural Gas, proud to support education in our communities, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey Sharing Network, dedicated to saving lives through organ and tissue donation, and by the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, founded by the Jewish community.
This is One-on-One.
When you first heard that they were doing Charlie Rose and Gayle King, didn't you go, what?
People like laughing at others, so I don't mind if the other is me.
See, you go right into the character. That's what it is.
I'm bringing families together a half an hour each week. Man, I'm doing something special.
And so I do feel successful.
Steve Adubato here in Verona Park. It is the 13th annual Stroll and Roll Kessler Foundation. I'll tell you what, it is an absolutely great day. 13 years Kessler Foundation has been coming together with people with disabilities, organizations that support people with disabilities, individuals who we've met today. They just never give up. They're inspiring, they're motivational. So we're going to speak to people from the foundation staff, people doing great research, supporting nonprofits who are helping individuals and organizations making a difference with those with disabilities, and individuals and their family members with disabilities. So, great day here. The 13th annual Stroll and Roll here, Verona Park, Kessler Foundation. What a great day. You're going to love the people you meet and be inspired by them to want to make a difference. We're here with Elaine Katz, Senior Vice President of Grants and Communications for the Kessler Foundation. You started this Stroll and Roll 13 years ago because?
Because it seemed like a great thing to do and a way for the community to really see the work of the foundation.
Okay. Now, you know, this is the 13th year here in Verona Park, and you could see it's early in the morning, it's a little bit after 9, and people are coming in from all over the place. But what was it like that first year?
First year, it was just the foundation staff, so about 5 or 6 people unloading my car with my husband, family, and friends, and it was really a grassroots event, and as you can see from today, it's grown to a tremendous event where I believe we've taken in over $100,000. So from a very, very small event with maybe less than 100 people, we're expecting 300 or 400 and more today, so we've really grown through the years.
I mean, there's so many people who are coming here who are grantees of the foundation, but also individuals whose lives have been changed, who have gone through research initiatives through Kessler's, other kinds of folks who are just trying to be supportive, family members and others. Did you envision that, Elaine?
You know, initially we didn't have grantees, and we just had some sponsor tables. And then we thought, you know, this is a community event. People whose lives have been affected in the community need to come out. So we started inviting sports teams. We started inviting more of our grantees, and we consider anybody who's we ever given money to as part of our family. So really, we've had probably 70 or 80 organizations, local organizations over the year we've given money to, and we've given over $30 million over the past 8 years to the community, and we figured this is a way to give back, a way that we can all have a great fun in an informal setting, in a nice day, and a day in the park.
That is one of the teams. Who are they and why are they so special?
The North Star Navigators were actually one of our first grantees, and over the years we've kind of adopted them as our sports team. It's a really great team because it's all run by parents. And in fact, we had to help the first parent write the grant to us because he didn't know grant writing. So over the past 8 years, they've expanded, they've gotten lots of money, they've grown as a team, they've won international awards, and it's really tremendous to see them come out every year and work our event by rolling around Verona Park.
Ergo, Stroll and Roll.
Ergo, Stroll and Roll, correct.
One more question. So much of the work of the foundation also focuses on finding employment, finding those who are willing to employ those with disabilities, but also getting those with disabilities ready to go back to the workforce. That's been a major focus of yours with veterans and others who have traumatic injuries, right?
Correct. And in fact, you just talked about the sports team. One of the best ways to get people to work is when they're young, is to have them work as a team and understand the work effort, working hard, what it means to accomplish a goal. And that's what we do by sponsoring sports teams, as well as working with people with disabilities, giving them the opportunity through our grants to experience things that wouldn't normally be paid for except with our funds.
Finally, your greatest reward and greatest satisfaction in this work is?
It's tremendous. It's been my life for 13 years at the foundation.
Keep it up. Thanks, Elaine.
Thank you, Steve.
We're here with Dr. John DeLuca, Senior Vice President of Research and Training at Kessler Foundation. Doctor, let me ask you, talk about some of the research that goes on at Kessler and why it's so important.
You know, this research is different because it's translational rehabilitation research. We do research to get into practice, not just research for basic science purposes. We want to figure out what can we do to help people in their everyday lives. That's really different. So we help people with difficulties with mobility actually walking for the first time, getting out of a wheelchair for the first time in 15 years, or people who have memory problems and really can't get back to work because they can't remember things. We have behavioral treatments to help them, or people with hidden disabilities, disabilities of the mind that you can't see. We have to help them too, and we find ways to get them back to work, back at home, back in everyday life. So the work we do is translational. It helps people.
Some of the people who are coming here today are those people. How appreciative are they, and how hard do they work to get to the point that you're describing, John?
It's amazing how hard these people with disabilities work. They are such dedicated, hardworking individuals. They'll do almost anything for you. They're the best people to hire for a job.
Why is that?
Because they're so appreciative. They've learned what life is really all about. So they have a disability, but we focus on their ability. And they appreciate that. And they show people what they can do. It's really an amazing thing. And being part of the research, they want to do this research because it helps the next person with a disability. So it's amazing to work with these individuals. It's just wonderful.
There are a lot of research initiatives, but traumatic brain injuries, big area, right? Because?
Well, you know, it's really funny because traumatic brain injury has been happening for decades. But now with the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, there's been a lot of media about this, media attention. And these people are coming back with problems that you can't see. This is one of the hidden disabilities I was talking about. They can walk, they can talk, but they have lots of problems with their thinking and their memory. And it really affects them, their lives, their families, their ability to work. They have to go on welfare and be dependent on the government. We want to get people back into life. And it's really important to do that. And we work very closely with people with traumatic brain injuries.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you very much.
We're here with the #1 fundraising team at the 13th Annual Stroll and Roll. Kathy Woosty, what's the name of the team behind us?
It's Woosty's Buckeye Brigade.
Now, explain that name.
Well, my late husband, who we're honoring today, Dave, was a big Ohio State Buckeye fan, so that's how we
didn't like Michigan?
Not a big.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had to do that. I'm sorry.
No, not a big Michigan fan.
And tell us about Dave.
Well, Dave was just a phenomenal person. He was an inspiration to all of us. He suffered a spinal cord injury a little over 3 years ago. He spent about 4 months at Kessler and then came home for about a year and before he was succumbed by his injury and he passed away early last year.
And so what's the whole idea behind this? I mean, is this what Dave wanted?
Dave would have loved this. He would have loved to be able to support a good cause such as this foundation so that other people could benefit from his injury.
You know, everything you read about Dave was that he had an incredibly positive attitude and everyone around him saw that and felt that, and I can see everyone shaking their head right now. Is that what he brought to everyone around him?
He did. He did. He was just, he did have an amazingly positive attitude. Each night when he went to bed, he would lay there and just count his blessings, the good things that happened to him that day. When people came to visit, people would be concerned that they were going to have to cheer him up, and he always cheered them up.
Let me ask you this. Why is a day like today, the Stroll and Roll with Kessler Foundation here in Verona Park, why is a day like today so important, raising money for research and the work of the foundation? Who wants to take it on? And who are you, by the way?
I'm Don. You know, what we learned from Dave was really all about inspiration, you know, in spite of circumstances. And we just felt that, you know, Dave spent a good amount of time here at Kessler, and we wanted to give back. Dave was all about having fun and doing it, being active. He would love this, and, you know, this is perfect.
We're here with Donna Custard, who is the Vice President, New Jersey Chamber of Commerce Foundation. You're one of the grantees of the Kessler Foundation. Those grants go specifically toward helping whom?
Towards people with disabilities. And what we did with our funding last year is we held an academy for students with mobility disabilities to help prepare them for college and career. So we brought together a group of high school students in one location, and we taught them all about what's necessary while they're in high school, how they need to work hard and really practice the skills and behaviors that are going to be necessary for success in both college and the workforce. And one of the key points that we pointed out to them is that even though they have a disability, that doesn't kind of get them off the hook for really being as prepared as their non-disabled peers. And it was a safe, secure, supportive environment where they could get to know their peers, understand that they're not alone in the struggles that they have, and that there are support systems in place to help them. So the funding from Kessler allowed us to provide this workshop to these students free of charge.
If these programs are not in place, if you were not doing what you're doing and, with those grants, what would happen to most of the people you're talking about with disabilities? What would happen?
I think they feel very isolated because they don't know where to turn. They don't know what they don't know. And what we're helping to do is provide them with some support systems so that they can understand they're not alone. And anywhere that they turn, there will be supports for them, whether it's in a work environment, and they just need to know what to ask for. So we provide them with that kind of information. We also let them know that they can't use their disability as kind of a crutch or an excuse, because they will be expected to perform at the same level as their non-disabled peers.
Why is this an important issue, not just for the quote-unquote disabled community, but for all of us? Why is this a societal issue?
Why would you leave people with disabilities out of the loop? What we saw with the kids that we worked with is they've got great senses of humor. They're very intelligent. They have a lot to offer. What they do is they get to where they need to be a little bit differently. Maybe they're using a wheelchair. Maybe they use a walker. That doesn't make them any different from you or me. It's just that in order to get from point A to point B, maybe they roll there. Maybe they push something to get there. But they're still able to be productive, contributing citizens, and there's no reason to leave them behind. They need to be incorporated into society. Businesses need to hire people with disabilities because they can contribute. There's absolutely no reason why they shouldn't be involved in more activities and find jobs just like non-disabled individuals.
Thank you, Donna.
Thank you, Steve.
We are honored to be with the Honorable Congressman Rodney Frelinghuysen, who I served with you back in the legislature in the 1980s, and many years later you are still serving the public, and you're connected to Kessler Foundation and this Stroll and Roll because?
Because you and I many years ago were friends with the late Walter Kavanaugh, and he was...
Senator Kavanaugh.
Senator Kavanaugh was a part of the Kessler family, and Kessler worked on him. Kessler never gives up on people with a variety of disabilities. It is an amazing institution. I've known it for, what, over 30 or 40 years, and where other institutions may give up on people with very horrendous disabilities, Kessler never gives up, and they do a lot of research and development. They have a lot of interaction. A lot of people don't know it with the federal government. The Department of Defense does a lot of things to support Kessler's initiatives. So I'm pleased to be here, and in a beautiful for the Stroll and Roll, and they raise money and they raise interest. Do an incredible job.
You know, the other thing, Congressman, is that there are a whole range of debates that go on in Washington and Capitol Hill about war, about defense issues, about international issues. But the one thing that is not debated is our veterans and how important it is that we do the right thing when they come home. Their disabilities, traumatic brain injuries, other injuries, this kind of work is so important for them, correct?
Kessler does a lot with our veterans community, TBI, traumatic brain injury, a variety of, we get a number of soldiers coming back with different types of amputations. post-traumatic stress. All these things go into the mix. And Kessler and other amazing organizations work with these men and women with incredible disabilities and problems and try to sort them out and get them back into the mainstream.
And working.
Absolutely working. I think independence brings dignity, and nobody likes to be treated as a victim. No, they don't feel, you got to treat people with dignity, and Kessler does that, and I think most Americans do that as well. We're so proud of our veterans, especially those who've really suffered some incredible physical and mental losses.
Thank you, Congressman.
Great. Thanks a lot, Steve. Good to see you.
This is Kevin Green. Age of 22, Kevin was in a car accident. You broke your spine and sustained other very serious injuries, right?
Yes. I have a spinal cord injury, but I also have a brain injury, traumatic brain injury, which most people can't see. But I don't really remember anything before I was about 22, before my accident.
How old are you right now?
I'm 30 years old. So,
talk about, again, we've been talking to some of the folks here who describe the rehabilitation effort, which never ends in many ways, but describe it for us, for you.
Well, for me, it was kind of interesting, to say the least, because you're pretty much relearning everything. You know, you know how to do things standing up. Now you have to learn how to do them from sitting down position. And then added, I had the brain injury, so you got to remember, how am I going to remember these things? So a lot of things I wrote down very often. But it was kind of a transition because you're relearning how to live life.
Kevin's also involved in some of the research at Kessler Foundation, traumatic brain injury research. Talk about that and the impact that it's had on you.
Well, the research is very, very important to me because everything that's researched here is implemented in all their institutes. So it's very, very, very important because it may not help me, but it's going to help somebody down the road. And it helps everybody because, you know, when you help yourself, you're also helping others as well. So
is that why you're here today?
Yes, it's a very big thing for me. I love to give back. I've always been a part of the Kessler's Think First program, talking to kids about it and how to prevent these types of injuries for people that can't prevent them, people that are born with them or just sustain them later in life. It's good to know that there's places out there like this that help out others. They think first and they go out of their way to help others before things happen.
But Kevin is actually working and doing very well right now. Tell folks where you're working and what you're doing.
For a while, I worked in for a doctor's office. I used to pretty much run a small laboratory. Now I moved and I got a new position at LabCorp down in Raritan, which is very, very nice. I'm a customer service rep, which is really great. So it's nice to know that actually the program I went to is called JFK Laboratory Training Program. And that was actually funded by Kessler. So it was really nice to know that they have programs out there like that, you know. And not only did I learn how to work in a lab and do that things, but they also have places how to find a job and how to search for jobs and how to interview and how to research and, you know, everything. Your resume, it's all important, you know. So Kessler, I owe my whole new life to Kessler. I can't thank them enough.
We are here with Allison Halchek, who is a corporate director at Gibbons, one of the leading law firms in the country. Now, Gibbons is, for the second year in a row, the top corporate sponsor of this 13th annual Kessler Foundation Stroll and Roll. Because
we really are dedicated to the Kessler mission. Gibbons, as you probably know, is a leading law firm in New Jersey, New York, Delaware, and Philadelphia. But above all, I think we value traditional values, family values. And we always care. We care about our people, and we care about organizations that our people care about. And we've been fortunate, really privileged, to represent Kessler Foundation for 18 years. And during the course of that time, of course, like with all our clients, we get to know more about the organization and what it stands for. And I don't think we could have found an organization that stood as much for Gibbons' mission as Kessler Foundation. Gibbons is certainly dedicated to a diverse workforce. We want people with different genders, different religions, different ethnicities, and different disabilities, or any disability, to be treated equally. And we, of course, value a diverse workforce. We recognize the creativity it brings to our work, and also the beauty and efficiency that it brings to our clients. The differences of opinion. And that's exactly what Kessler Foundation's mission is. I mean, we're all here at this wonderful event just to try to help people that have disabilities learn to deal with them. And I found since coming to this event, which has been many years, I wouldn't miss it, they don't just deal with their disabilities. They learn to overcome their disabilities. It's such an outstanding event, and it teaches you so much. And our managing director feels the same way, Patrick Dunnigan. And our firm feels the same way.
That's why we have Gibbons Cares.
That's why we have Gibbons Cares. Excellent point. That's an event and an organization and a promotion that was really put together by our COO, June Inderweiss. And what we do there is something similar. We look out and we look at what our community needs, and not just Newark, but New Jersey. Not just New Jersey, but Philadelphia.
Which is how this fits into it.
Which exactly, it fits in beautifully, but it also stands on its own a little bit because we do a lot more for this than maybe we can do for Gibbons Cares. But it certainly is in line with that, and June is a big supporter,
Now, I'm hanging out in the DJ booth here at the 13th Annual Stroll and Roll. Melinda Jenis is the founder of Pathways for Exceptional Children, which is?
It's a not-for-profit that is helping children with special needs to become employed, and we start working with them at the age of 10 as far as the employment program is concerned.
Now, why are we hanging out in the DJ area? I mean, you've been playing great music all day. We're toward the back end of this great event. And what's the deal with the DJ thing?
Well, DJs are making a lot of money out there, and it's a great profession to get into, and these kids love music, they love technology, as you can see, and they're aces in the hole at it. They are really good at it, so that's why we do it. We teach them how to do it.
I'm going to make sure we introduce everyone here.
Eric.
Matthew.
And I'm Matthew M.
Matthew M. Let's just find this out. Now, the foundation, Kessler Foundation, has been supporting your organization with an eye toward achieving what?
Employment for people with special needs. And so we're actually starting younger. We do an early intervention program that really starts training children even younger than the school districts do. So they know we have kids, we've placed about 10 kids in employed situations in ShopRite and all kinds of places at the age of 16. We get them placed.
And so that the whole DJ thing is exploding, and the young men here and others going into this field with disabilities, creating all sorts of opportunities.
Right, and they've got a rock band. We've got online radio station that the kids are going to be starting. So they're really taking over with the technology piece. In fact, they've got Ableton Push that they're going to be doing this afternoon. So they're becoming experts at all of this type of equipment and are really quite good at it. They're surpassing us.
Well, you know, when you're a DJ, you have to be able to speak impromptu. You know, you're not even planning it. So who's ready to talk to me about how great the program is? All right? What has the program done for you?
The program has achieved me to be a professional, and because everyone knows I'm a big MC, and what
do you love about it?
I just love talking. I just love MCing, talking about the events, talking about what song we're playing next, and
what about pumping up the crowd?
I do that. I pump up the crowd every day.
And why are you laughing?
Why are you laughing?
He's funny. I like this guy as a friend.
You guys are tight, aren't you?
Yeah, since I've been doing DJing for the past 5 years, I think it's a really good program because I don't think I would find any other DJ program than what Melinda has done. And I've actually been trained over time. So really, not just only Melinda, but also Stephanie both work together, and they've done a really...
Stephanie's on the staff as well?
Stephanie's actually helping Melinda, but she's now gone.
It's my daughter. She's in college now.
How dare she go to college? But it's been great for you, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I love the equipment, the way that we set up things. I'm hoping to become like a sound engineer guy and just fix with all the sounds and rock bands and a lot of other stuff. And even with the DJing.
He's also a video guy, too.
You do video as well?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I've done videos for the past 3 years. We've done the walkathon, the Pathways concerts, and we have like a yearly annual concert where we just take all the talents from the Common Interest kids and we put them into one concert. It's a fabulous concert. Everyone should come.
Well, I'll tell you what, folks. Not just on the DJ end, but the video end, and also the ability to speak on camera. When you didn't even plan for it, these guys are terrific and they're great representatives of a great organization. Pathways for Exceptional Children. Look at them. Look at them. They got the thing, all kinds of... Now, that stands for what? Peace. Peace and victory. These guys are the best. Thank you so much. Melinda Jenis, terrific. We're in the DJ booth. You never know what's going to happen here. Thanks so much. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed this last half hour talking to people here at the 13th annual Stroll and Roll with the Kessler Foundation, talking to people who are making a difference in the lives of those with disabilities and those affected by disabilities and their families. Not just talking about those affected by disabilities, but also understanding why it matters to all of us in society.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Hackensack University Health Network, Investors Bank, Berkeley College, New Jersey Natural Gas, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, New Jersey Sharing Network, and by the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey. Promotional support provided by The Record, North Jersey's trusted source, and NorthJersey.com. And by NJ Biz, all business, all New Jersey. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.
I'm Paul Susek, Berkeley College class of 2002, Senior Marketing Manager, ESPN.
Carla McDonald, class of 2012, Senior Client Associate, UBS Financial.
Veronica Mormando, class of 95, Chief Operating Officer, PS Finance.
Tama Iguelas, class of 2006, Director, The Voice of Liberia.
From different walks of life, many of our students succeed in different ways, yet their first step is exactly the same: Berkeley College.